Hey everyone, I'm Gabriella, and today's video is going to be a Q&A about dry ice. Okay, so the first question is, what is dry ice? So dry ice is the solid form of carbon dioxide. It is colorless, tasteless, and odorless. The next question is, how do I store dry ice? So it should be stored in like an insulated container, mainly because it'll slow down the sublimation process, so you have more of it for a longer period of time. So the next question is, what is dry ice blasting? So I didn't know a lot about this, but now I know that it's sort of like sandblasting, where it's put into like a pressurized airstream to like clean off a surface or something like that. So the next question was, is dry ice safe? And I'll put in the description below a PDF copy of like dry ice safety precautions, and if you follow those, you'll be safe while using dry ice. Okay, so the next question is, what is dry ice fog? So it's pretty much when you add dry ice to water, a dense white fog will like come out, and so what's happening is the dry ice is sublimating from a solid to a gas, and so because of the moist air around, it'll form a dense natural white fog coming out of your container or whatever you have the dry ice in. Okay, so one question is, how long does dry ice last? So one, it depends on how much you have. Another factor is whether it's like ground up or in solid blocks. I'm looking it up and it says around 10 kilograms can sublimate in a matter of minutes if you add hot water to it. But if you do have like solid blocks and you put it in a like a polyester box, I think it'll last 3 to 5 days. But I do know the ground up version of dry ice lasts a lot less than solid blocks. Okay, one question is, can we put dry ice into drinks? No. Dry ice should not be consumed in any way, shape, or form, like put in your mouth or anything, and so dry ice typically should avoid contacts with like your beverages and things like that. There's also something called the chill stick, and it's relatively safe because it creates like a barrier between the dry ice and your drink. That's when you can drink it safely. But other than that, don't drink dry ice in any liquid or anything. Another question is, how cold is dry ice? So on average, it is around negative 109.3 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's negative 78.5 degrees Celsius. So it is relatively cold. So another question is, how fast will dry ice sublimate? So I'm seeing, okay. So another question is, how fast does dry ice sublimate? So around, the rate is like 5 to 10 pounds every 24 hours in like a typical ice chest. So another thing, you also do not want to store dry ice in like your typical freezer, mainly because your like thermostat will like shut off because the dry ice will be making the freezer colder than it should be, and then the dry ice will sublimate faster because there's no freezing or it's not being frozen anymore. So another question is, how should I handle dry ice? So kind of back to safety, you do want to wear protective gloves when handling dry ice because if it comes in contact with your skin, it will cause frostbite. Sometimes you want to wear goggles if you're doing any big experiments where it can splatter everywhere. Also wearing a lab coat, I suggest doing that in case it comes in contact with your like forearm or anywhere in your arms or legs. Another point, when working with dry ice, you do want to be in a well ventilated area because it could cause suffocation if the CO2 builds up. a good question to ask is, what is sublimation? And sublimation, in a nutshell, is pretty much when a solid turns into a gas without going through the liquid phase. Thank you everyone for watching my video. I hope you liked it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Till next time. Okay, I'm done.